Okay, match day -1 here in Molde, our press conference, Molde versus Larne. Keith, would you like to kick us off?
Yes, Tiernan, great to see you here. Obviously, you had a pretty busy weekend just past. Can you tell me how close maybe you were to being St Johnstone manager and why you decided ultimately to be here?
I think my concentration now is very much Larne Football Club. Sunday was where that was put to bed, so it's not something that I'm going to bring up again, or I feel I need to get into again. I think the big thing was there was a journey started here 8 years ago, and we need to make sure that we kind of go and finish this journey. And it was probably just too hard to walk away from, to be honest. And I'm delighted that I'm able to play my part.
Obviously, going to a club like St Johnstone is a big opportunity for you. Are you worried at all that maybe turning that down might affect your future prospects of another move in the future?
I don't wake up in the morning thinking about what moves you can potentially get, or what doors you've potentially closed. I wake up in the morning very much concerned about where I am right now, and the only effect I can have right now is potentially at Larne Football Club, and the opportunity that lies ahead. And I think that this is a huge occasion, not just for Larne Football Club or the players or the staff or the fans, but for the whole of the Irish League. And I think that's, as I say, that's what gets me up in the morning, and that's what I think about going to bed at night, and that's where that'll end.
What is it about this club, about Larne, that made you want to stay here? So obviously you've been here for 8 years and had massive success.
Yeah, we talked about this, believe it or not, right back at the very first meeting we ever had, of where we wanted to go and how we wanted to try and get here. And probably back then, most people thought there was a little bit of madness in us, that a club that was bottom of the championship at the time, to try and play group stages of a European competition. We were very focused, we were very single-minded. Probably the only doubt that we had was how long would it take us to try and get there, and that's not arrogance or cockiness in any way. We built very strong foundations, and we knew we'd get the processes in place. Probably we just needed the players, and thankfully then last year we got the players to enable us to do that.
Obviously, Molde are a phenomenal team in terms of European pedigree. How do you assess them going into this game? What threats do you see? Because obviously there's a lot more experience at this stage than what yourselves have.
Yeah, the threats everywhere. They're a top side, and we've tried to concentrate very much in their last couple of games, and they're scoring lots of goals, but they're also conceding goals. And it'll be a great experience for us. Be a great experience for us in a different European competition, and how we approach it. We're very much getting into this as the underdogs, and I think I've seen somewhere that we're ranked last in the whole competition, and we're expected to finish last in the whole competition. And I think what this group of players have shown over the last number of years is that's a challenge that they'll relish, and we have to make sure that we can go and give a good account of ourselves now.
You mentioned about the massive league table that we now have. Is sneaking through a possibility? Is that something that you're talking about, or is that like beyond what's realistic for Larne at this stage?
I think we'll concentrate on 90 plus minutes tomorrow night, and see where this takes us. We'll probably get a much better gauge after tomorrow night of how close we are or how far away we are. And I think the biggest thing that we have to get through to the players is trying to ensure that they have the belief that they can compete at this level. I have no doubt in my mind they have the ability, the talent's there. It's will they have the confidence and the belief to back themselves, trust each other, and go and have a go.
And like when we watch Larne and back home play some great football, attacking football most of the time, this sort of game takes a different approach, right? Or what way will you look at it?
Yeah, listen, as I said, we'll go into this game very much as underdogs. We're fully aware of that, but we know that it's going to be a very different challenge from what we face domestically. People at home, you probably expect Larne to be in possession for most of the game. I don't think that'll necessarily be the case tomorrow night, and we understand that. So we have to make sure that when we are in possession, that we're comfortable in possession, we're calm and composed in possession, and if we get chances, that we're clinical.
Tomas, how do you feel about tomorrow night's game? It's obviously you've played some great teams before in your career, but in your Larne career, this feels like a step up.
Yeah, obviously they're going to be a very good team. We've watched them, we've done our homework on them, and we know what threats they've got. And we have to impose ourselves on them if we can. We know they might have a large majority of the ball, but with our defensive shape and the work we've done, hopefully we can catch them on the counter, and who knows what can happen in a one-off game.
Do you think your role might be a little bit different tomorrow night? You know, we saw you against FK Molde bombing forward, and you like to get forward. Is it going to be a more defensive role, do you think? Spend a bit more time in your own
Yeah, I would say so. Obviously, you have to respect the opponent. They've been here a few times before, so they have more experience on us. That's such a pedigree of a club. So, as I said, we just have to hold our shape, and we've done it in Balkany, we've done it in Helsinki, and who knows what we can do tomorrow night.
When you took a big decision when you joined Larne to drop down a league, and you probably took a bit of criticism for it at the time. Did you think that this was possible? Is that why you made this decision, that you could see this vision and it could become a reality?
To be honest, Gaffer and Kenny and stuff like that told me that it was possible. I honestly didn't really believe it. I knew we would challenge for trophies domestically, but to be here, it just makes the decision even better. I honestly didn't think we would be able to do it, but when I seen Linfield came close, it just gives you a wee bit of a taste for it, and you need a wee bit of luck along the way as well, and we've got that.
And how pleased are you that Tiernan is still sitting beside you and is still in charge?
I'm just trying to picture them times when he bombed forward and Friday night. I must have missed them.
I rung a taxi for him to get him out. But no, obviously he's been here from the start. Him and Sham, and I've known them from I was about 15, 16 at Climble. They brought me to Climble, so to still be here, and they've been really good to me, and I always care for the Gaffer. So to still have him here is brilliant.
You've played a lot of big teams over the past number of years, maybe ranked above you in Europe. It's been a two-legged affair. Is it a different approach when it's a one-off?
Yeah, you don't really think about it like that until Sham said it in the meetings. He said about it's a one-off game, anything can happen. You see cup games all the time. The wee minnows beat the big teams. So if you get our structure right and we get our game plan right, who knows what can happen? We could be in for a big surprise.
Tiernan's kind of well known as being meticulous in terms of his planning. Those European games were kind of Thursday. You've known your opponents for quite a while. Has he been able to do more in-depth stuff and maybe kind of sit down with you and maybe look at the likes of Molde over a number of matches rather than maybe one or two where he would normally have time constraints?
No, well, maybe the Gaffer and the boys behind the scenes have maybe got to do that, but we've had so many games coming up, we've had to concentrate on the next team, and as players that's a good thing. You're just waiting on the next game coming up. We had Climble, so that's all we were worried about. From that game ended, we're just worrying about this one now, so we haven't done it.
I'm sure that has been tough on the body, but how much of a carrot has this been at the end of it? Knowing that, okay, you were having to play every 3 days, but knowing that you had the chance to make history as well in this run?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Obviously, anyone who says don't want to play games over training, they're deluded. I'd rather play games as many times as we can, and to do that, it's unbelievable. And as you say, the carrot at the end of the tunnel has been there, and we knew what was expected of us.
Tiernan, you've brought in players who've played for big clubs, who have a lot of experience as well. How important will those guys particularly be in a match and over a league like this?
I think what we talk about just as much as tactics at Larne is culture and that commitment culture that we talk about, and I think you'll struggle anywhere to find a group of players that show as much commitment as this group, and the commitment that they show to this football club and what's being asked of them right now, and they don't bat an eyelid. Every morning it's really tough on their bodies. They're getting a lot of analysis right now, that they're probably getting overloaded with the mental side of the game. There's no complaints out of them. They take it on the chin. They go again, and I think not only do they deserve to be here, I think they deserve to actually go and really give a good account to themselves and put themselves on the map.
And just finally for both of you, obviously week in, week out in the Irish League, it's a battle, it's a war. Obviously, there are a lot of rivalries there as well. But how conscious are both of you of the fact that you're not just representing Larne, you're representing the Irish League and what is potentially possible in the future for other clubs as well? I'm sure like your mates, former teammates, have been sending messages wishing you luck in a situation like this.
Yeah, everyone's obviously rooting for you. I don't think they were kind of rooting for us until we got there. But now that you're here, everyone wants to see you do well. You're representing the league, you're representing everyone that's involved in Irish League football, so hopefully we can give a good account of ourselves.
Did you get a few texts?
Yeah, as I've been saying, probably the night we done it, Thomas, I do think obviously Larne's the first club to do it, but I'm convinced they won't be the last. I think our league's just going from strength to strength, and I think everybody in the league is very much willing Larne to go and give a good account of themselves because we know it'll make a massive difference to our domestic league.
Tiernan, you talked at the start of the European campaign almost 3 months ago now about needing to believe that we belong at that level. Does that process kind of start all over again, believing that we belong in this league phase and the teams that we'll come up against?
Yeah, and sometimes that's easier said than done. I think that the big thing in this is that we have to get out there tomorrow night. We have to get on the pitch. For any player, the talking and the analysis and the training and the tactical side of it, that's not the part that they enjoy. They enjoy getting on the pitch and going to get to express themselves. And I think tomorrow night they'll probably need to find their way a little bit. They probably will need left alone for a period to make the mistakes, to understand the level that they're at, to get their pinch themselves moment out of the way. And then I have no doubt in my mind that this team will kick in.
And Tomas, is there a point you think where that dawns on you as a player and sinks in as a player, kind of what we're about to do, what you're about to do tomorrow night when you take the field?
Yeah, probably when you're in the tunnel, you can hear the crowd and you got your last bit of instructions and you're ready to go out there. As soon as you get a touch of the ball though, everything just disappears. It's just a normal game. You just obviously want to go out there and win.
Any questions from anybody else?
Good for me.
Okay, thank you everybody, appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.